guys, how's it going? Today's flow will be based on your shoulders and your core. So we'll be strengthening those two areas, eventually moving towards handstand. Now if you can't do handstand, that's okay. We'll do lots of progressions into there and you can stop wherever you'd like. Okay, let's start on our backs. Knees apart, feet together, inclined butterfly. Just begin to slow down your breath and let go of any thoughts or stresses that may have lingered from earlier in the day. You have right now, so embrace it. Focus on the way your body feels, the steady movement of your breath. Now I want to apologize in advance if in this practice you hear a hacking cough. That would be my little puppy Lucy. She's got a kennel cough. Poor girl. So try your best to ignore that. Feel your knees opening up little by little, millimeter by millimeter. Letting your hips sink down into the ground and being very steady in your breath. Long, deep inhales and slow exhales. Place your hands on the outside of your knees and bring them together. We're going to grab the outside edge of both our feet and roll around in happy baby. Make this nice and playful here. You can maybe make some egg beater motions with your knees. Roll side to side. The option is yours. Eventually finding some stillness here and using the strength of your arms to gently pull your knees towards your side body. Release your hands and roll on up into boat. So we're going to start off with boat. So we have that good core engagement throughout the entirety of our practice. So open up your shoulders towards the front of the room. Gaze slightly in front of your legs. And if it's available to you, you can let go of your hands or straighten your legs. Shine your chest up. Draw your core in. One more breath here. We're going to lower down halfway, keeping our legs off the ground still and our shoulders off the ground. One more breath here and back up to boat. Take the variation that works for you. Lower down halfway again. Option to take your hands behind your head or behind you. Ooh, sorry, my shoulder's cracked. Holding here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Let that go. Enjoy. We're not quite done with this early core work yet, so bring your feet close to your body. We're going to do some very, very slow bicycles here. So if you've ever done bicycles in an ab circuit, usually I find that you tend to go quite quickly, but here we're going to go as slowly as we possibly can. So bring your hands by your ears, lift up your shoulders, bring your knees up, and lower your right leg. Hover it on the ground, twist towards the left, bring the right elbow to your left
knee. Now staying hovering in your upper body, see if you can bring your upper body a little higher still. Come back to neutral, bring the right knee up. And now send the left leg forward, very slowly, looking towards the right side, crunching here. Long breaths. Alternate. Here again. And back and forth. This will be at your own pace. How slow can you go here? Enjoy this movement. Take breaks if you need. It's your practice, your way. Coming to neutral, placing your hands on your thighs, and we'll roll onto our seat, plant our hands, and step back into plank here. From plank, option to come on your knees or you stay up on your toes. Staying strong here, pushing down through your hands, tucking your butt in, and lower your knees down if they're not already down, and your chest and chin. From here, push forward into a baby cobra. Enjoy the stretch across your chest and your abs. Tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. From downward dog, you can take some micro movements in your legs here, rotating around, being intuitive, feeling light, and eventually finding some stillness. Rolling forward into plank. And again, take it from your knees if you'd like. And exhale, chaturanga. Set your chest on the ground. Inhale up for cobra, a little higher. And exhale, draw in your core, push back with your arms. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Next, inhale, roll out onto plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Maybe take upward dog this time. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths again. Nice and steady. From here, we walk our toes to the front of the mat, coming in forward fold. Wrap your hands behind your calves as you gently pull your upper body towards your legs. We're lengthening our hamstrings here. This stretch is really critical towards getting handstand. It allows you to kick up with ease. Gently release your hands and inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sweep up again. Dive it forward. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Half or step to plank.
lower down, upward facing, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. One breath here, inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your toes, hop or step to the front of the mat. Sorry, I meant lift your heels. Halfway lift, forward fold. Again, option to wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. So that's your pointer finger, middle finger. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw your chest towards your legs. Draw your kneecaps up to engage your quadriceps, and that'll allow you to fold a little more. Gently release. Roll up to mountain. Sweep your arms up. Hands to heart center. Arms up again. Dive it forward. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Hop or step. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Tucking toes. Downward facing dog. Sweep your right leg up towards the sky. Square your hips to the ground. Feel that stretch in your left hamstring, left calf. See if you can raise that right leg a little higher while keeping your hips square to the ground. We inhale here. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, set your right foot between your hands. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Arms by your sides. Staying strong in both legs here. Sweeping that left hip forward a little bit. There are tendencies for it to go back. One more breath here. And inhale, straighten that right knee a little bit. And exhale, warrior two. Look over your right shoulder, past your right middle finger. Strong in your legs here. Flip that right hand up and tilt back. Reverse warrior. Gaze towards that right hand if possible. And sweep your arms to the ground. Take your left heel up and inhale, sweep that right leg up. From here, stack your right hip on top of your left. And we're going to very slowly come into wild thing. So the slower you can go, the more strength you're building as well. So bend that right knee. Begin to take it back. Coming into a wild thing, feeling that stretch in your left shoulder. Pushing down through your right leg. Option to grab that right leg with your right hand. Coming back into three-legged dog. And exhale, bring the right knee towards your left elbow. We're going to come into fallen triangle very slowly here. So extend that right knee. Keep it hovered if you can. Lift up with your left hand. Hovering for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that right foot down. Take the
your fallen triangle. Feeling that stretch through the left side of your body.
Strengthening through your right shoulder. Place the left hand down on the mat. Inhale, sweep your right leg up. And exhale, come forward, three-legged plank. And we're going to roll over onto our left side, side plank. I know it's a lot of core here, so stay with me. Option to set the left knee down on the floor. And you play with the placement of the upper leg. So you can come into tree pose or grab a hold of the toe. Gaze up if you can. One more breath, stay strong. Perfect. Set that right hand down on the ground. Take a flow, three-legged flow, regular flow, or skip it all together and meet in down dog. Okay, other side. Let's do this. Inhale, sweep that left leg to the sky. Square your hips to the ground and feel your right heel falling towards the earth. Inhale, lift that left leg a little higher. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Bring it forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale to the right elbow. Little twist. Inhale, sweep it up again. Exhale, bring it forward. Step the left foot between your hands. Bring your hands up into high lunge. Keeping the weight equal between your feet. Every inhale you come up a little bit, and every exhale sink down a little deeper. Really trying to bring the elbows by your ears, so opening up those shoulders for handstand later on. Alright, inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, warrior two. Sink down, enjoy. Flip the left hand up, tilt it back. Keep your gaze at your left hand. Keep your left knee still bent. Bring it forward. Place both hands down on the mat. Bring your right heel up. Inhale. Sweep the left leg up. And we'll stack the hips on top of each other. Bend the left knee. Slowly take it to wild thing. Once you're there, option to grab the left leg with your left hand. Release. Sweep that left leg up again. Exhale. Bring that left knee to your right elbow. Straighten the left knee. Stack your shoulders on top of each other. Hover the left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. Set it down, lift your hips up a little higher, forward, triangle. Take this time to catch your breath a little bit. Find length in your breath if it's gotten a little short. Place your right hand on the ground. And from here, tilting over to your right side. Side plank. Take a variation that works for your body here. And set your left hand down. Flow. Meeting in downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. If you need to grab child's pose, feel free to do so. All right, inhale, lift your heels, hop or step your feet through the front of the mat. We're going to sink our hips back, sweep our arms up into chair pose. From chair, we'll transition into eagle. So I'm just going to turn to face the front. Take your weight into your right foot and bring your left leg over the right, perhaps hooking the toes against your elbow. Now, take your right elbow over your left. And begin to bring your elbows up. Staying strong in this eagle here. Now see if you can crunch, bringing your elbows to your knees. Exhale. Inhale back up to full eagle. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, sweep it up. Let go of your eagle. Stay balanced on your right foot. Tilt it forward into airplane pose. Your hands are facing the ground, keeping the back of your body as flat as you possibly can. And dive it forward, standing splits. So option to have both hands on the ground or wrap your right hand around your right ankle. You can also try wrapping both hands around the ankle if that's there for you. Doesn't matter how high up your this, as long as you feel a stretch in that hamstring. Option to grab the left foot with your right hand here. Perfect. Place both hands on the ground in front of you. And they're going to be about a foot in front of your right foot. And you're just going to kick up with your right foot and land with your left. Whoop. Perfect. Step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. It's a good time to maybe grab a drink or hit child's pose before we work on the other side. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Alrighty, let's do the other side. So, come into downward dog. Inhale, lift your heels, hop or step your feet from the mat. Sink back into chair, sweep your arms up. Take the weight to your left leg this time. wrap the right leg around. Keep your gaze stable as you take your left elbow on top of the right. Perhaps the palms of your hands touch each other, or maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. Alright. From eagle, we're going to do 3 crunches. So inhale, exhale, crunch. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, sweep it up again. Exhale, crunch. Inhale up, release the binds. Tilt it forward, airplane. 1 breath here. And let your upper body fall completely to the ground. Standing split. Take whatever variation you like with your hands. Option to grab the left foot with your left hand. Sorry, right foot with your left hand. One more breath here. Release that foot if you got hold. Place your hands about a foot in front of your left foot. We're going to hop switch, landing on our right leg. Perfect. Stepping back. Plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Tucking toes. Downward facing dog. Very nice. From downward dog, inhale, lift your heels. Hop or step your feet from the mat. Halfway lift and fold over. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to walk towards a wall. So you'll be about a foot or 2 away from the wall. As you place your hands on the wall, jut your butt out and begin to sink your shoulders down. So opening up the shoulder muscles and the joint and all the connective tissue there. So this stretch here allows us to keep our shoulders open so that we don't have to use as much muscle strength when we're upside down. It's going to be more of bone stacking on bone and using gravity to help us here. Enjoying this fold here. It's kind of like wheel, but just your upper body. And let it go. Very nice. We're going to come have a seat on our mat. Coming into forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Let's keep this one nice and active. So draw your knees up. And inhale here. And as you exhale, see if you can bring the crown of your head a little closer towards your toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw your core in, sink into the space. Inhale. Exhale. Staying here for a few more breaths. Releasing hold of your legs if it's there. Place your hands by your side. Cross your legs and shift them back. Maybe they don't even need to touch the ground at all as you shoot back to plank, chaturanga, up dog, and tucking our toes into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to come into dolphin. So dolphin is just like downward dog, but on your forearms. So keeping your forearms parallel to one another, shoulder distance apart. And feeling the weight tilt into your shoulders. So you can begin to lift your heels, move it back and forth. Now you stay here, or you can try lifting that right leg, seeing how that feels on your forearms. See how high you can lift that right leg. Hold it here, few breaths. And releasing the right leg. Take your left leg up. One more breath. And release your knees onto the ground. Take your hands by your side as we recollect our breath and our thoughts in child's pose. From here, we're going to come into dolphin again. Plant your forearms down on the ground. Come up onto your toes. Now, if you want to try kicking up to forearm stand, please do so. Otherwise, you can try regular dolphin or one-legged dolphin. If you've never tried forearm stand, kick up against the wall. And if you do come up to forearm stand, try to stack your hips on top of your shoulders to take the crunch out of your low back. And release your legs to the ground. Child's pose. Walk your hands in front of you. Come to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Downward dog. Inhale, sweep that right leg. Exhale, step that right foot forward on the outside edge of your right hand. Lizard. Lower your forearms down onto the ground. And perhaps your chest lowers down with every breath. Enjoy that stretch throughout your left hip flexors and deep in that right hip. Come up onto your hands, and we're going to shift our hips back in a funky half split. So your foot is still out towards the right a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Enjoying that stretch in your right hamstrings and maybe your right inner thigh. Let's come forward into an arm balance. So shift it back into lizard. Placing your hands right underneath your shoulders, bending the elbows as if you're going to do chaturanga, and tucking your right thigh on your right tricep. Now this might be where it's at for you, or try straightening the right knee. Shift your body forward and see if you can lift that left leg up. Hold here. Set that left foot down, take the right foot back, chaturanga, upward facing, tucking toes, downward dog, or child's pose if you'd like. Other side, inhale, sweep that left leg up. Exhale, bring that left foot forward into lizard. Settle in at your own pace. All right, let's shift our hips back into a funky half split. Come back forward. Try this arm balance. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Stack that left thigh on your left tricep. Straighten that left knee, tilt forward, and maybe your right foot pops off the ground. Send it back to chaturanga, upward facing, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, hop or step your feet to the front of the mat. And we'll roll up slowly, using this as an opportunity to massage your shoulder blades and your neck. Eventually coming to mountain pose. Perfect. So we're going to try a few progressions into handstand here. Now, if you know how to do handstand, feel free to take it. Otherwise, you can follow me. So all you need is a wall here. If you really don't want to do handstand, I encourage you to take any other version that you would like, or even just downward dog or legs up the wall. So to start, what you want to do is sit down against the wall so you have an idea of where your heels are. Mark that in your mind and place your hands down there. So you're going to walk your legs up the wall halfway. So this is creating strength in your shoulders. We'll see if we can hold this for 5 breaths. At the end of the 5 breaths, come down, child's pose. Take as long of a break as you need. Feel free to pause the video. While you're resting up, I'll explain the next variation. So we're going to do handstand against the wall. Now usually when we do back bends, we kick up towards the wall, so we're facing the wall. But this time we're going to be facing away from the wall. And what that will do is really allow you to use that core to hold you up, as opposed to taking it all in your lower back and coming into a back bend. So walk your hands a little bit closer towards the wall now. So this, however close you get, will depend on how flexible your hamstrings are. So mine are about 2 feet away from the wall. I'm just gonna begin to walk my legs up. And now I'm gonna walk my hands a little closer. So the tendency might be to have your hips touch the wall. You want to take them off and try to stack your hips on top of your shoulders. Now, both feet are on the wall here, or you can try taking one leg off at a time. Gaze down between your hands, maybe a teensy bit in front of your hands. I would say at the level of your pointer fingers. And just play around with it. See if you can hold whatever you're doing for about 5 breaths. And when you're done with that, release down however you can. Child's pose. Finally, we're going to try for handstand without the wall. If you know you're not quite there yet, that's more than okay. Take any other variation that we did. Or again, always option to take child's pose or another inversion. So handstand without the wall requires, I think, a couple of things. One of them is flexibility in your hamstrings. So that means that you don't have to kick up as quickly. You can almost tilt into it because the more momentum you have kicking up, the more likely you're going to topple over. The second is having wrist mobility and wrist strength. So when you're upside down, it's important to be aware of where your fingers are, because if you start to tilt, let's say, away from your body, you want to put more weight into your fingers to prevent that from happening. So it is something that you really have to play around with. It's like gas pedals and brake pedals with your fingertips. So for unassisted handstand, come into downward dog, walk your feet forward so you're in half downward dog, and lift a leg. Doesn't matter which leg, you can just do it on the other side afterwards. So hands are shoulder distance apart. Now, I like to lift up onto my right heel to give myself some height, and I just gently hop up. Now, there's a chance I might fall over, and that is okay. Oops, and I fell. So, just keep playing around with it. And take breaks as you need. A nice one I like to do is just come into a passive forward fold. Now, if you did one side of kicking up, make sure to take the other side. And release. We're going to take rabbit's pose to lengthen the backs of our necks. So come up onto your knees. Place the crown of your head on the mat, hands by your side, and tilt the weight into your head. From rabbit's pose, option to roll into
shoulder stand. So I'll show you how. What you want to do is place your hands by your head, lift your knees, and slowly walk your feet towards your body. You come up onto your shoulders and you lift your legs up. Take this time to reconnect with your breath. You can play with leg variations and shoulder stand if you like. I'm gonna see if I can get my legs in a lotus here. All optional. If your legs are in a variation, lengthen them and let them fall behind your head. Plow pose. If your feet touch the ground, option to lengthen your elbows and interlace your hands. You can also take ear pressure pose by bending your knees and setting them by your ears. Release your hands if they're interlaced, and then we'll roll out onto our backs.
From here, place your hands behind your legs. We'll come up onto our knees. Taking a back bend here. So I'm going to take a few variations of camel pose. So starting off with your toes touch, place your hands on your hips, open your chest, and just lean back as much as you can. Release, come to tabletop position, take a few cats and cows. Round two. Tucking your toes again, place your hands on your heels. Open up the chest, tilt your hips forward, and let your head and neck go if that's comfortable. And again, release to cat or cow. Once more, you can try the last two variations or take the tops of your feet flat on the ground and reach for your hips, or your heels, sorry, here. come forward to tabletop position. Shift your body to the right side of the mat. You're still on tabletop here. Shift your weight to the left hand as you release your right hand and thread it through underneath your left arm.
You're going to set the back of your head onto the mat. So nice gentle twist, perhaps a stretch for your neck and your shoulders.
Come back up to tabletop. Scooch over to the left side of your mat. And thread that left arm underneath your right.
Your left hand is around at the level of your ankle as you roll onto the back of your body. Let's release.
Coming back up to the seat. Bringing your legs in front of you and laying down. Hands out in T, knees at 90. Option to wrap that left leg around the right as you let the knees fall towards the right side and gaze over the left shoulder. See if you can bring that left shoulder onto the mat. Now your knees might pop up, so you can use the aid of your right hand to gently bring them down. Roll onto your back and let your knees fall towards the left. Maybe have your right leg wrapped around your left. And again, see if you can set the right shoulder down while you place a hand on the knees. And now you've made it. Shavasana. Extend your legs. Find any props or extra clothing to make this process as relaxing as possible for you. Be aware of how your body feels, your thoughts, and your emotion.
Hopefully you've developed a sense of peacefulness and tranquility throughout this practice, a feeling of being grounded. I thank you all for joining me on the mat today. I'll see you all again in a few days. Namaste.